This is going to be a shorter than usual intro for one of my scripts, because I have to show you this clip, and then just let it play. Check out this thing. What even is this? Something's wrong. Something is wrong. That was not supposed to happen. Today, we are looking at TMNT. Now, I've done TMNT before, and I've had a lot of fun with these guys. But today's episode feels special. This was the first episode that aired after the passing of Peter Laird, who co-created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, they put this dedication at the end of the episode. Rest in peace, Peter Laird. And now we can get into the plot of this episode, which is truly fantastic. A new chemical mutagen starts randomly affecting creatures all over New York City. And as you just saw, it's affected some of our favorite mutants as well. One of them being Master Splinter, who is not necessarily a mutant, but has been affected by the original mutagen, meaning he can still potentially mutate again, which would probably kill him. The turtles need to find the cure before it's too late. Our villain for this episode is a guy named Dr. Victor Falco, who is an old friend of Professor Honeycutt, and apparently he used to work with him at some point before. Well, he was fired from his job, or quit, or something like that, and has spent the last 20 years of his life locked away in his lab underneath the city obsessing over mutation, specifically evolution, and how to control it. He's completely mad about it. Like when we first meet him, he's ranting to himself in front of a bunch of computers, saying things like, all about Eve. He's got a big giant computer bank back here, tracking all the mutations around the city. When the turtles arrive, he greets them, makes conversation, and tries to manipulate them into giving him more information. Apparently, this dude is also an accomplished actor. But as soon as Leonardo walks away, his nice guy persona drops immediately, and he becomes very sinister. I love this little scene. It's so great. Now, I think what happened here was that, while working with Professor Falco, became really enamored with the idea of mutation. But Professor UT, seeing the potential danger of this new mutagen, chose to keep it locked away, which made Falco quit his job, or get fired. Either way, he left and went underneath the city where he grew up and built his own lab and waited for his chance to get the upper hand. Professor UT. That chance came when Baxter Stockman released the ooze into the sewers, accidentally affecting all the animals and giving us the Rat King. But this also opened the door for Dr. Falco to sneak into TCRI and swipe some of that ooze for himself. He then refined it and created his own super mutagen that he could use to further his research. The reason he didn't affect anyone in his immediate vicinity was because he'd only been using it on plants up until this point. And then the Rat King released the purified version into the sewers and it spread from there. The main difference between Dr. Falco's mutagen and the original is that eventually it reverts back to its natural form and loses its power. However, the original mutagen, since it hadn't yet been purified, remained potent and retained its powers permanently. That's why, after being affected by it once, you could mutate again. Falco's plan is to inject himself with the super mutagen in order to mutate and evolve to a higher state of being. To do this, he needs the turtles to help him gather DNA samples from 3 other creatures who have been mutated by his ooze, including Master Splinter. Once he gets the DNA samples, he injects himself with the mutagen and begins his mutation sequence, creating a gigantic energy dome around himself to contain the effects and protect himself from the outside world while he evolves. He believes that this will allow him to achieve perfection, whatever that means. In order to get the cure for Splinter, the turtles need to get inside the lab and disable the machine. While the adult turtles are off doing that, April and Casey Jr. team up to go retrieve some DNA samples from this huge lizard creature that lives under the bridge. These two work so well together. I love it. There is a great scene where they trying to sneak past some of the guards, and Casey starts to make some sarcastic comments. But then when he sees the guard actually listening to him, he stops immediately, and April looks at him confused, and he's like, "What? I thought he left!" Like he wasn't actually talking to the guard. This is a duo that definitely needs to happen more often. Meanwhile, Leonardo sneaks into the room where Falco is conducting his experiments and finds several of the cyberdinos that he rescued from the pet store earlier in the episode. They're happy to see him, but unfortunately, Leo doesn't have time to hang out and chat, and the chase is soon on. Up on the main floor, Donnie and Raph are trying to shut down the mainframe when they run into Falco himself, who has become incredibly powerful due to his cybernetic enhancements. The fight is pretty intense. There's a lot of cool action going on, and it's hard to keep track of everything. But basically, after Donnie is knocked unconscious, Raph gets angry and throws Falco off the balcony. As he hangs onto the edge of the building, Raph tries to convince him to come back and be a good guy instead. But Falco is just too far gone. He says that what he's doing is for the betterment of all life. Then Raph reaches out to try and grab him, but Falco bites his hand. Then Raph freaks out and hits him in the head with his biostaff, knocking him off the building. Back inside, Donnie wakes up and tells Leo that he found a way to create an antidote for the mutagen. Meanwhile, April and Casey finally make it back to the lair with the DNA samples, and they tell everyone about their crazy adventure under the bridge. Then they hear the news report that one of the most powerful CEOs in the world, Mr. Philip Falco, has suddenly stepped down and disappeared. I love the little nod there. At that moment, Splinter comes down the stairs and collapses right in front of them. Everyone is shocked and saddened, thinking that he's dying, but it turns out that he's just sleeping. The mutagen had calmed him down and put him to sleep. The antidote will take some time to make, so Donnie decides to use Splinter as a test subject and injects him with the anti-mutagen right then and there. As everyone looks on nervously, Splinter wakes up seeming totally fine. Then he starts to glow green and reverts back to his rat form. I'm assuming that's because he reverted to his natural form after the mutagen wore off. Just then, the other turtles come running in and tell everyone that they've got a problem because Philip Falco, the CEO, is actually Dr. Falco in disguise. And Dr. Falco is very mad that the turtles ruined his plans and wants revenge. So now, the turtles need to go stop him again. We don't get to see much of Falco's final form in this episode. They kind of keep it ambiguous. We know he has wings, and he's a lot bigger than he was before, but that's about it. In fact, when he takes off, we don't even see what he looks like, so that's fun. I really like the ending of this episode. After Falco is defeated and taken away by the police, the turtles are hanging out in the lair, and Splinter is laying on the couch. He's back in his rat form, but has kept his human intelligence, and can speak. He's just chilling, watching TV, eating popcorn, and hanging out with his mutant sons. It's a great way to end the episode, and it shows that no matter what happens, they can always revert back to their normal lives. Overall, I thought this was a really fun episode. I liked the mystery surrounding the mutagen, and how it was affecting everyone. I thought the reveal of Dr. Falco was a nice twist, and I liked his character. He was a good villain for this story, and I thought his plan was believable enough. He was smart, resourceful, and charismatic. I'd love to see more of him in future episodes. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. And then click my face to subscribe. You should also click the playlist button to check out the rest of the series reviews. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.